Whoever doubted that Sonic 3 would close out 2024 as the best movie of the year was totally wrong. Knuckles, do you mind? Oh, excuse me. The latest trailer just made that crystal clear. It does look like a Pokemon. But did you manage to catch all the hidden details and secrets in the newest Sonic 3 trailer? The first thing you need to know is that it's almost certain the Chaos Emeralds will play a role in the movie, and the trailer hints at this in a very subtle way. During a fight scene, likely the final battle, Sonic's eyes reflect objects that clearly resemble the shape and colors of the Chaos Emeralds. This strongly suggests they'll be used to enhance the powers of both hedgehogs, since, as it turns out, Eggman isn't the true villain of this story. But we'll get to that later. These and other trailer details will be revealed now, so grab your popcorn, because it's time for another Cinewave deep dive. Speaking of the Chaos Emeralds, the trailer confirms that Shadow, not the Chaos Emeralds, will be the key to activating the Eclipse Cannon. This is a significant change, since in the games, the relics are used to power up this destructive weapon. Our theory is that Shadow will realize Gerald Robotnik's plan is madness. As the key to activating the cannon, the anti-heroic hedgehog might betray the villain and switch sides to help the good guys. Notice that in the scene where the Eclipse Cannon is shown, there's something with the exact same red energy as Shadow's speed, something like a kind of engine. Earlier in the trailer, there's a moment where Robotnik declares that with Shadow's power, they can dominate humanity. With Shadow's power, we can rule humanity. Immediately afterward, we see Shadow running in circles inside a machine. This implies they're setting up the character to power the ultimate weapon that could destroy the world. As mentioned, the Eclipse Cannon will appear, and in this trailer, it's shown destroying part of the moon. This scene is highly significant because it references Sonic Adventure, where Dr. Eggman makes a dramatic announcement to humanity. Before we dive into where this might be going, let's rewind a bit and analyze the trailer from the very beginning. The trailer kicks off with Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails getting ready for a race. The continuation of this scene appears later with a really cool Easter egg we'll talk about soon. The scene then cuts to a restaurant themed after the Chow Garden, a common area in the Sonic Adventure games where players could care for these little creatures. Shortly after, we spot someone dressed as Cheese, the loyal Chow companion of Cream the Rabbit. Could this mean Cream might appear in the movie? A girl asks if Tails is Detective Pikachu. This is a fun nod, considering it was the success of the Pokemon movie that paved the way for Sonic's franchise to break into the cinema world. In this scene, the lights go out, and a drone, thought to belong to Eggman but possibly part of Gun, attacks the three heroes. This might be because they'd mistaken Shadow for Sonic. The trailer transitions to a dark, rainy scene set in Tokyo. The posters in the background make it clear that this is Japan, just like how Sonic was with his friends earlier at the Chow-themed restaurant. In this scene, Shadow is standing in the middle of an avenue, surrounded by armed gun agents ready for combat. This is likely where Shadow meets Sonic for the first time, leading to their initial fight. But the trailer doesn't show what happens next. Instead, it cuts to a scene featuring Gerald Robotnik. He's wearing an orange prison jumpsuit and is staring at wall markings resembling the Ark space colony. This scene is a clear reference to Gerald's prison cell in Sonic Adventure 2, where the villain is locked up, surrounded by inscriptions outlining his plan to destroy the world. So, would you have a space station with a laser cannon powerful enough to destroy the moon? If so, drop a comment with #moon so we can get to know ya, and maybe send Sonic over for a visit. There was a theory after the first trailer that Gerald Robotnik was actually a hallucination in Eggman's mind. This made sense, since Gerald is no longer alive in the games. However, the second trailer shows both characters together, with Sonic asking if there are two Eggmans. This officially debunks the theory. Gerald is indeed alive. This revelation changes the game's original storyline. Could this mean Maria Robotnik is alive as well? Next, Shadow appears wielding a weapon capable of creating a black hole, which explains the portal scene in the previous trailer. Here's a fun fact. Black holes can be theorized as temporal portals. Could this be a hint at time travel? Perhaps this is how Silver the Hedgehog might be introduced into the story. Sonic uses one of his teleportation rings to escape Shadow's weapon and ends up at Tom and Maddie's house. At the house, we see that Tom and Maddie are surrounded by loaves of bread, with Maddie wearing an apron that reads, "All or Muffin." This suggests they might be planning to open a bakery. However, when Sonic and his friends arrive, warning about incoming trouble, it seems they'll jump back into action. It's likely the humans will have a smaller role in this movie, because the franchise is evolving to focus more on the anthropomorphic characters like the hedgehogs. What do you think about this shift? I love it even more. The trailer cuts back to the continuation of the race from the opening scene. Here, Tails activates a jetpack to keep up with Knuckles and Sonic. This moment is a clear reference to Sonic Heroes, where the characters strike the same racing poses. The next scene is still a mystery. We see both Robotniks alongside Agent Stone and Shadow, but there's an empty space between Eggman and his lackey. Fans believe there's a surprise character edited out of this shot, since the camera isn't perfectly centered. This theory holds weight because Marvel used a similar trick before Spider-Man Spider-Man No Way Home, where the other two Peter Parkers were hidden until the film's release. The scene shifts to a flashback of Shadow feeling immense sorrow. This is likely the moment when Maria loses her life. And to make sure you don't miss any of our videos, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. In the following scene, Shadow states that when the plan is complete, there will be nothing left to dominate. This reveals the villain's intent to completely destroy the world. This could spark a conflict between Eggman and Gerald, as Eggman aims to rule the world, not obliterate it. Agent Stone seems to disagree with Gerald's plans. In the next shot, his expression suggests he's not pleased with the scientist's ideas. The trailer progresses with 3 critical scenes that likely shape the film's outcome. Shadow is shown sitting in a field with Maria Robotnik, then smiling at her as he steps into a glass tube, an iconic moment from the games. Finally, Shadow sees the stained glass shatter. These scenes highlight Shadow's feelings for Maria and her probable opposition to the world's destruction. Since Shadow is the key to activating the Eclipse Cannon, it's likely Maria's influence will lead him to betray Gerald and side with the heroes. The trailer shifts back to Tokyo, showing Shadow riding his iconic motorcycle and wielding a firearm, just like he does in his standalone game, Shadow the Hedgehog. Next, we revisit a scene from the previous trailer where the two hedgehogs are seen flying through the Tokyo sky, about to collide. This is likely moments before the blackout-inducing explosion we mentioned earlier. After this, the Ark space colony is visible in the sky. This is likely the moment the moon is destroyed. We see Agent Stone staring at the sky in disappointment, just like many others. This strongly suggests that Stone will abandon Dr. Robotnik, as he seems to disagree with Gerald's catastrophic plans. Gerald is seen discussing destiny with someone shorter than him, probably Shadow. What's intriguing here is his white coat, which is styled like a classic villain outfit. Pretty cool, right? Speaking of outfits, Eggman appears next, wearing his iconic jacket from the games. In this scene, he seems to be controlling the Eclipse Cannon. Something shocking happens here. Shadow and Sonic are seen battling, possibly during the final fight, in a setting that is completely destroyed and filled with volcanic lava. This scene strongly implies that Gerald will indeed use the Eclipse Cannon to fire at Earth. Could he have destroyed an entire city? Kind of dark. Finally, the logo for Sonic 3 appears, showcasing both Sonic's blue quills and Shadow's black ones, emphasizing that this movie has 2 protagonists. The last scene of the trailer is a humorous Christmas gag. Eggman sees Gerald dressed as Santa Claus and joyfully jumps on the old doctor. It seems like Eggman wasn't expecting this visit, and this is probably how the two characters reunite. Or perhaps it's just a clever joke referencing Jim Carrey himself. He's famously known for playing the Grinch, a character who despises Christmas. Seeing him dressed as Santa Claus is an ironic and iconic nod to his past role, adding a meta layer of humor to the scene. Sonic 3 hits theaters on December 25th, so there's not much longer to wait. Until then, you can keep enjoying our content. We've selected 2 more videos for you to check out. See you in the next one.